It's fugitive Australian journalist Shane Dowling from the website kangaroocourtofaustralia.com. Now, Walter Sofronoff, the former Queensland Supreme Court judge, has leaked the ACT inquiry report, which he was the chairperson of, to the media without the knowledge and consent of the ACT government. And that's a crime. He faces up to 6 months jail. And that's the bottom line to this video. Why did Walter Sofronoff leak the report to Jeanette Albertson, News Corp journalist and propagandist for the Murdoch empire? Why did he leak it to her and put himself at risk at 6 months jail? Now, he did leak it to the ABC as well, apparently, but he only did that to cover his rear end. Apparently, there was an embargo on it, but it doesn't matter whether there's an embargo. Well, he put an embargo on it. It doesn't matter. He knew what he was doing was illegal. He's a former judge. He's leaked it to her, knowing full well that she's a attack dog for Murdoch to attack Brittany Higgins and any supporter of Brittany Higgins, and she's done just that. She's attacked Shane Drumgold. The purpose of leaking it to her, was so she could frame the agenda, and that's what she did. She started leaking it Wednesday night, and by Thursday night, Channel 9 and Channel 10 are running attacks on Shane Drumgold. But they haven't seen the full report, neither has anyone actually. It was apparently going to be made public next week, but the only people who've seen it is her and someone from the ABC, but leaking it to the ABC was just to cover his rear end. Now, he's done that because he thinks he can. He thinks he can get away with it. He thinks he can break the law, but it's totally undermined his credibility and ultimately the credibility of the report. Now, Shane Drumgold has done some things that he shouldn't have done, but in the overall scheme of things, they're nothing much more than jaywalking in comparison to the political and police cover-up of the alleged rape of Brittany Higgins. And so he's leaked it to her so she could frame it that way and try and focus all the attack on Shane Drumgold. Now, just briefly read you out the section of the law that Walter Sofronoff has broken. It's called the Inquiries Act 1991, ACT Inquiries Act, and Section 17, non-disclosure of information by members, etc. And it says a person who is or has been a member of the staff, or a lawyer assisting a board must not. Then Section C, produce to any person or permit any person to have access to a document provided for this act. Now, the only person he's meant to give the report to is a minister, ACT minister. So Walter Sofronoff has started playing the game. He started to jump in bed with the News Corp, thinking he's above the law. And the bottom line is they're protecting Bruce Lerman, not to protect Bruce Lerman, to protect the Liberal Party and Rupert Murdoch's cash cow. People say, oh, why is Bruce Lerman being protected? Well, he's not. What happened is the Liberal Party have no morals or ethics. So the alleged rape happened just a couple of months before the 2019 election. They couldn't care less, so they just cover it up. And the cover-up just continued. They don't care. And until it raised itself again in 2021 when Brittany Higgins decided to follow through with a complaint to the police. And it's just like Robodebt. Compare it to Robodebt, where they didn't care. They were breaking the law, they were destroying lives, didn't care, until they were forced to stop it because too many people were telling them it's illegal and they couldn't cover it up any further. And that's the same with the alleged rape of Brittany Higgins. Bruce Lerman is a side issue to him, but because they were covering it up, the cover-up is bigger than the original crime in effect. Because they're so morally bankrupt, they couldn't care less about an alleged rape. But the purpose of this video is Walter Sofronoff. Some elements of his report are going to be accurate, at least, because he had no choice. For example, no one challenged the fact that Bruce Lerman should have been charged by the police or the Director of Public Prosecutions. Walter Sofronoff asked him. I watched the inquiry very closely, and he asked, is anyone challenging the fact of whether Bruce Lerman should have been charged or not? And no one did. Now, that was going to be Bruce Lerman's big defence. He was hoping that Walter Sofronoff would find that he shouldn't have been charged. Then he was going to sue the ACT government. But that didn't happen because Walter Sofronoff couldn't do that. If he could have, maybe he would have. But he couldn't do that because no one was challenging it. And so he was going to have to contradict pretty well everyone by finding that Bruce Lerman shouldn't have been charged if he had done that. But he hasn't done that. Apparently, we don't know. We haven't seen the report. Walter Sofronoff just leaked it to his favourite journalist, Bruce Lerman's favourite propagandist, Jeanette Albertson. Now, I did cover the leaking yesterday to some degree in another video, so you can go to my YouTube channel. You can see the video published yesterday. And I'll also be publishing an article tomorrow, and it's titled, Bruce Lerman outs himself as a serial rapist by failing to sue over other alleged rape victims. So you can be able to read that. And I also do cover the inquiry leaking a little bit tomorrow in that article. So make sure you visit my website, Kangaroo Court of Australia. Kangaroo Court of Australia is 100% crowdfunded by viewers like yourself. I currently have 293 patrons donating $1,819 a month. I really need to double that to become financially viable. And you can donate any amount, $3, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30, $40, $50 a month, whatever suits your budget. And there's a link below this video on YouTube for the Patreon account, or you can go to my website and there's a link there. And please share this video on Facebook and Twitter, etc. Thank you for your time and have a good day.